Flood and severe weather warnings are in place in large parts of New South Wales today, with heavy rain expected in Sydney, also the mid-north coast and the Hunter region. So let's get more now. We're joined by Miriam Bradbury at the Bureau of Meteorology. Miriam, good morning to you. It certainly has been wet for the past few days now. New South Wales seems to be the hardest hit. Can you just firstly run us through the warnings that are in place?
Yeah, so the main warning that we have in place at the moment is a severe weather warning that mentions both damaging winds and heavy rain. Now that covers parts of the mid-north coast, the Hunter coast, and pushes inland towards the Northern Tablelands as well. So at the moment, Sydney and the Illawarra are escaping that warning area. In the warning area, a little ways further north, that's where we're expecting the windiest conditions and the wettest conditions, most likely later today through Saturday afternoon, going into the overnight period and easing Sunday morning. However, that is not to say that we're not expecting those wet and windy conditions elsewhere. It's just that the mid-north coast, Hunter and Northern Tablelands are likely to be worst hit through the course of today.
Okay, so in terms of what we can expect in the coming days, as you say, it looks like that wet spell will continue into the weekend, but it looks like sort of clearing Sunday night into Monday at this stage?
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's being driven by a low pressure system which is lingering off the north coast of New South Wales. So that's going to drive this wet and windy weather, also large surf and swell across the east coast through today into tomorrow. But that system is going to pull away from the coast throughout the day on Sunday, which means we should see an easing in most of this wet and windy weather later in the day on Sunday, and by early next week we should be in for a little bit more of a settled period.
I can imagine with the cold and the wind as well, it has implications for snowfall in the Alps?
Yeah, we do have a fairly low snow level, particularly today, with gradually warmer conditions, warmer in an atmospheric sense, moving into tomorrow. That means our best chance of seeing snow is today, most likely this afternoon, above around 11 or 1200 metres. Now, this could extend as far north as the central and northern tablelands. We have actually seen a little bit of snowfall around Guyra even earlier this morning. So it is on the cards for today, but will become less likely as we go into tomorrow.
Just to recap in terms of the warnings in place, as you say, the wet weather to continue into the weekend. I'm just worried about how severe that flood threat could be. Obviously, I'm asking because, you know, a number of these communities have had some pretty tough times in recent months with flooding.
Yeah, absolutely they have, and the sensitivities in the community are obviously still there. We do have flood watches in place for large parts of northeastern New South Wales. Now that covers parts of the mid-north coast, even parts of the southern northern rivers, parts of the Hunter, and pushing a little ways inland as well. Now at this stage, mostly that's a flood watch, indicating that we expect to see some river level rises, most likely from later today. But it remains to be seen how much flooding we get, depending on how much rainfall we see. We do have one minor flood warning in place for the Peel River. Again, that's just ahead of those rising river levels that we could see from later today.
There has been a bit of rain in recent days, and some sort of record rain, you could say, in terms of the month that we've just seen. Does this wet spell for the rest of winter tell us anything about the long-term forecast and what we can expect in spring, or is that a bit of a long bow?
Look, looking back, first of all, the last couple of months have actually brought our rainfall levels close to average. Again, we're talking about long time periods rather than just the last couple of days. But if we look ahead at the next couple of months for the rest of August, and as we push into early spring, the long range forecast does suggest we have a high to very high chance of seeing above average rainfall. So it is possible we could see a few more of these wet weather events in the weeks to come.
Okay, Miriam, always a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks.